The law of supply. Stored in every human being are great reserves of energy of which the average individual knows nothing. The law of the universe is the law of supply. You see it on every hand. Look at the heavens at night. There are millions of stars. There are millions of worlds. Millions of suns among them. Surely there is no lack of wealth or profusion in the mind that could image all of these. No place for limitation there. Look at the vegetation in the country round about you. Nature supplies all that the shrubs or trees may need for their growth and sustenance. Look at the lower forms of animal life, the birds and the wild animals. Nature supplies them bountifully with everything they need. They have but to help themselves to what she holds out to them with such lavish hands. Look at all the natural resources of the world. Coal and iron and oil and all metals. There is plenty for everyone. We hear a lot about the exhaustion of our resources of coal and oil, but there is available coal enough to last mankind for thousands of years. There are vast oil fields practically untouched, and when all these are exhausted, the extraction of oil from shale will keep the world supplied for countless more years. There is an abundance for everyone. You must strive before you can make manifest the law of supply in nature. The world belongs to you. It is your estate. It owes you not merely a living, but everything of good you may desire. You've got to demand these things. You've got to fear nought, dread nought, and stop at nought. Consider the lilies, how they grow, the flowers, the birds. All of creation are incessantly active. Your Father knoweth that ye have need of these things, and all these things shall be added unto you. If all would agree to give up worrying, to be industrious but never anxious about the outcome, it would mean the beginning of a new era in human progress, an age of liberty, of freedom from bondage. Jesus set forth the universal law of supply when he said, "Therefore I say unto you, be not anxious for the tomorrow, what ye shall eat, or wherewithal ye shall be clothed. But seek first the kingdom of God, and all these things shall be added unto you." What is this kingdom of God? Jesus tells us, the kingdom of God is within you. It is the Father within you, to which he so frequently referred. It is mind. Your part of universal mind. Seek first the kingdom of God. Seek first an understanding of this power within you. Learn to contact with it, to use it, and all those things shall be added unto you. All riches have their origin in mind. Wealth is in ideas, not money. Money is merely the material medium of exchange for ideas. The paper money in your pockets is in itself worth no more than so many Russian rubles. It is the idea behind it that gives it value. Factory buildings, machinery, materials are in themselves worthless without a manufacturing or a selling idea behind them. How often you see a factory fall to pieces, the machinery rusts away, after the idea behind them gave out. Factories, machines are simply the tools of trade. It is the idea behind them that makes them go. So don't go out seeking of wealth. Look within you for ideas. The kingdom of God is within you. Use it purposefully. Use it to think constructively. Don't say you are thinking when all you are doing is exercising your faculty of memory. As Dumont says in The Master of Mind, they are simply allowing the stream of memory to flow through their field of consciousness, while the ego stands on the banks and idly watches the passing waters of memory flow by. They call this thinking, while in reality there is no process of thought underway. The kingdom of God is the kingdom of thought, of achievement, of health, of happiness and prosperity. I came that ye might have life, and have it more abundantly. But you have got to seek it. You have got to do more than ponder. You have got to think constructively, to seek how you may discover new worlds, new methods, new needs. The greatest discoveries, you know, have arisen out of things which everybody had seen, but only one man had noticed. The biggest fortunes have been made out of the opportunities which many men had, but only one man grasped. Why is it that so many millions of men and women go through life in poverty and misery, in sickness and despair? Primarily because they make a reality of poverty through their fear of it. They visualize poverty, misery, and disease, and thus bring them into being. And secondly, they cannot demonstrate the law of supply for the same reason that so many millions cannot solve the first problem in algebra. The solution is simple, but they have never been shown the method. They do not understand the law. The essence of this law is that you must think abundance, see abundance, and feel abundance, as well as believe abundance. Let no thought of limitation enter your mind. There is no lawful desire of yours for which, as far as mind is concerned, there is not abundant satisfaction. And if you can visualize it in mind, you can realize it in your daily world. Blessed is the man whose delight is in the law of the Lord, and he shall be like a tree planted by the rivers of water, that bringeth forth his fruit in his season. His leaf also shall not wither, and whatsoever he doeth shall prosper. Don't worry, don't doubt, don't dig up the seeds of prosperity and success to see whether they have sprouted. Have faith. Nourish your seeds with renewed desire. Keep before your mind's eye the picture of the thing you want. Believe in it. No matter if you seem to be in the clutch of misfortune. Forget your fears. Realize that the future is of your own making. There is no power that can keep you down but yourself. Set your goal. Forget the obstacles between. Forget the difficulties in the way. Keep only the goal before your mind's eye, and you will win. Judge Troward, in his Edinburgh lectures on mental science, shows the way. The initial step then consists in determining to picture the universal mind as the ideal of all we could wish it to be, both to ourselves and to others, together with the endeavour to reproduce this ideal, however imperfectly, in your own life, and this step having been taken, we can then cheerfully look upon it as our ever-present friend. If we think of it as a great power devoted to supplying all our needs, we shall impress this character also upon it, and by the law of subjective mind, it will proceed to enact the part of that special providence which we have credited it with being. And thus, the deepest problems of philosophy bring us back to the old statement of the law. Ask, and ye shall receive. Seek, and ye shall find. Knock, and it shall be opened unto you. This is the summing up of the natural law of the relation between the divine mind and us. It is thus no vain boast that mental science can enable us to make our life what we will. And to this law there is no limit. What it can do for us today, it can do tomorrow. Belief in limitation is the one and only thing that causes limitation, because we thus impress limitation upon the creative principle, and in proportion as we lay that belief aside, our boundaries will expand, and increasing life and more abundant blessings will be ours. You are not working for some firm merely for the pittance they pay you. You are part of the great scheme of things, and what you do has its bearing on the ultimate result. That being the case, you are working for universal mind, and universal mind is the most generous paymaster there is. Just remember that you can look to it for all good things. Supply is where you are and what you need. Do you want a situation? Close your eyes and realize that somewhere is the position for which you, of all people, are best fitted, and which is best fitted to your ability. Realize that universal mind knows exactly where this position is, and that through your subconscious mind, you too can know it. Realize that this is your position, that it needs you, that it belongs to you, that it is right for you to have it, that you are entitled to it. Hold this thought in mind every night for just a moment, then go to sleep knowing that your subconscious mind has the necessary information as to where this position is and how to get in touch with it. The earnest realization of this will bring that position to you and you to it, as surely as the tomorrow will bring the sun. Make the law of supply operative, and you find that the things you seek are seeking you. Get firmly fixed in your own mind the definite conviction that you can do anything you greatly want to do. There is no such thing as lack of opportunity. There is no such thing as only one opportunity. You are subject to a law of boundless and perpetual opportunity, and you can enforce that law in your behalf just as widely as you need. Opportunity is infinite and ever present. Nothing stands in the way of a will which wants, an intelligence which knows. The great thing is to start. To begin is to complete the first half. The second half remains. Begin again, and the work is done. It matters not how small or unimportant your task may seem to be. It may loom bigger in universal mind than that of your neighbour, whose position is so much greater in the eyes of the world. Do it well, and universal mind will work with you. But don't feel limited to any one job or any one line of work. Man was given dominion over all the earth. And God said, "Let us make man in our image, after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over the cattle, and over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth." All of energy, all of power, all that can exercise any influence over your life is in your hands through the power of thought. God, which is good, is the only power there is. Your mind is part of His mind. He is the Father that is within you that doeth the works. So don't put any limit upon His power by trying to limit your capabilities. You are not in bondage to anything. All your hopes and dreams can come true. Were you not given dominion over all the earth? And can anyone else take this dominion from you? All the mysterious psychic powers about which you hear so much today are perfectly natural. I have them. You have them. They only await the time when they shall be allowed to assert their vigour and prove themselves your faithful servitors. Be not afraid. Claim your inheritance. The universal mind that supplies all wisdom and power is your mind. And to the extent that you are governed by your understanding of its infinite law of supply, you will be able to demonstrate plenty. According to your faith, be it unto you. What is it you want most from life? Is it riches? Picture yourself with all the riches you could use, with all the abundance that nature holds out with such lavish hand everywhere. What would you do with it? Daydream for a while. Believe that you have that abundance now. Practice being rich in your own mind. See yourself driving that expensive car you have always longed for, living in the sort of house you have often pictured, well dressed, surrounded by everything to make life worthwhile. Picture yourself spending this money that is yours lavishly without a worry as to where more is coming from, knowing that there is no limit to the riches of mind. Picture yourself doing all those things you would like to do, living the life you would like to live, providing for your loved ones as you would like to see them provided for. See all this in your mind's eye. Believe it to be true for the moment. Know that it will be true in the not very distant future. Get from it all the pleasure and enjoyment you can. It is the first step in making your dreams come true. You are creating the model in your mind. And if you don't allow fear or worry to tear it down, mind will recreate that model for you in your everyday life. All that the Father hath is yours, said Jesus, and a single glance at the heavens and the earth will show you that. He has all riches in abundance. Reach out mentally and appropriate to yourself some of these good gifts. You've got to do it mentally before you can enjoy it physically. 'Tis mind that makes the body rich, as Shakespeare tells us. See the things that you want as already yours. Know that they will come to you at need. Then let them come. Don't fret and worry about them. Don't think about your lack of them. Think of them as yours, as belonging to you, as already in your possession. Look upon money as water that runs the mill of your mind. You are constantly grinding out ideas that the world needs. Your thoughts, your plans are necessary to the great scheme of things. Money provides the power, but it needs you. It needs your ideas before it can be of any use to the world. The Falls of Niagara would be of no use without the power plants that line the banks. The falls need these plants to turn their power to account. In the same way, money needs your ideas to become of use to the world. So instead of thinking that you need money, realize that money needs you. Money is just so much wasted energy without work to do. Your ideas provide the outlet for it, the means by which money can do things. Develop your ideas, secure in the knowledge that money is always looking for such an outlet. When the ideas are perfected, money will gravitate your way without conscious effort on your part, if only you don't dam up the channels with doubts and fears. First, have something good. Then advertise. Have something that the world needs. Then open up your channels of desire, and dollars will flow to you. And remember that the more you have to offer, the more of riches will flow to you. Dollars are of no value except as they are used. Realize that it is not money you have to seek, but a way to use money for the world's advantage. Find the need. Look at everything with the question, how could that be improved? To what new uses could this be put? Then set about supplying that need in the absolute confidence that when you have found the way, money will freely flow to and through you. Do your part, and you can confidently look to universal mind to provide the means. Get firmly in mind the definite conviction that you can do anything right that you may wish to do. Then set your goal and let everything you do, all your work, all your study, and all your associations be a step towards that goal.